the people that I serve, I like to use the metaphor of 3x5 cards. If I take all the people, places, experiences, and lessons learned in my life of X number of years, and I take each one of those moments, Isabella has a card, and I write Isabella Timmons Banks on one side, grandmother. On the other side of the card, I write wellness, organic, living, sustainable commitment.
You know, we really need to avoid the temptation of just be on the surface. And of course, as storyteller, you understand how much we love depth, of going deep, because life is deep. Life is not just on the surface. So sometimes we do need the long answer. I do hear people complain of that we don't have time to listen, but I don't think it's right. We have time. Only that just sometimes we do waste our time a lot, just jumping from one task to the next. Tasks that might not necessarily be adding value to our life.
They don't want quick, they want value. And it's like buying a pair of shoes is probably the best analogy. I can buy a pair of shoes at that store for $10 and they'll last me for 10 months. I can buy a pair of shoes at this artisan shoemaker for $100 and they'll last me for 10 years. I am the artisan shoemaker that makes shoes that last a long time because they are built of value. And I think there's value in knowledge, and I gather knowledge and I put the knowledge that I've gathered around storytelling. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm always honored when I have an opportunity to chat with you because you produce amazing content, and I'm just honored to be a part of that. My name is Arthur Jones. I'm the founder of a business practice that I call the Art of Standing Out. And I believe that story and standing up for what we believe and using storytelling to spread the word about our beliefs, how we believe that we can serve people to help them accomplish more, is another line of work that I do, and it's done in the Story Lab, where I think there's storytelling, but there's also story listening, building, and doing. And we'll talk more about that as you learn more about me. I come to storytelling and the current business, the Art of Standing Out, from a long career in the Fortune 100 company selling technology to other Fortune 100 companies. And I must admit that I learned so much from talking to executives in boardrooms about what their challenges were. And I learned that listening was more important than telling. But listening enabled me when it was my turn to tell the story of the product or service that I sold. I knew exactly how to insert the story of my product into the narrative of the person that I had been listening to for so long. And I think that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. How to understand your customer's narrative, seeking first to understand them. So when you tell the story of your product, service, or offering, you know how to insert your value into their narrative, and it lands with them like music to their ears. So that's where I'm coming from, and that's why I do what I do.
That's so beautiful. You said seek to listen first.
Yeah,
that is so beautiful. That is nothing to underrate for any reason at all. I really appreciate that. That is a lot that is packed into that. Seek to listen first, not speak first, but listen first. All right, I'm coming to that later. So Atom, tell me a bit about yourself.
I was born in a city called Madison in New Jersey. New Jersey is in the northeastern region of the United States. I grew up with a loving family, mother, father. I have an older sister, just one sibling, but a a family of aunts and uncles and cousins that was truly amazing, and loving and nurturing. One of the people that when I look back on my youth, I didn't know it when it was happening, but I recognize it now, that my grandmother, Isabella, really was, I guess, instrumental in giving me certain values that I got them kind of auto-magically just by observing her. But now as an adult, when I look back to explore where my values come from, I realize that many of the ones that I cherish the most came from her. And so that's how New Jersey and my family shaped me. I went to university in New Jersey at Rutgers University. After living in New Jersey, going to university in New Jersey, and getting all that New Jersey and the tri-state area, that's Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, are very closely coupled in that way, because they're so close to one another. I moved to California on the opposite coast of the United States and spent many years there, raised my family there, worked for corporate America there, learned so much from the boardrooms that I could walk into and learn from the executives that were trying to solve problems there. So I've enjoyed my youth growing up in America, but I must admit, it wasn't until in my 20s that I traveled to Europe and North Africa that I realized that I was a citizen of the world, and I became I appreciated diversity in a much more important and compelling way. That's kind of a summary of where I come from, some of the places that I've traveled that have shaped me, and I honor all those places because in many ways they make me who I am today. Absolutely.
Those are what you have encountered in your journey, and they are part of your story. They are part of what make you who you are. Briefly, would you like to tell me how you got into business? I mean, what was the journey for you getting into the business world?
Oh, that's really an interesting one. I think it really begins with my childhood friend, Oliver, who I was in university, he was in university. I had gone on to work at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, a healthcare organization. He had gone on to get a master's at the University of Michigan in hospital administration. Being my childhood friend, we talked about healthcare and caring for people and the business of healthcare an awful lot. And I had an opportunity with this passion I had for healthcare to join a healthcare organization in San Francisco, California. So the kid from New Jersey that had a graduate from university, had been immersed in healthcare, had a chance to move all the way across the country to another small emerging healthcare company, and I did. And coming to San Francisco, another force in the world, that a beautiful city with a lot of exciting, amazing things happening just up the road a bit from Silicon Valley. Healthcare was a fascinating space to work in, but San Francisco was an energetic and amazing place to have a life. And from healthcare, I segued from being involved in healthcare to getting an offer to go work for Xerox Corporation. And in the late 1980s, which is when I really began working at Xerox, Xerox was, I guess, kind of like it was a Fortune 100 company, I'll say it that way. And it was a big company. It's kind of today a shadow of what it was then. But I had the pleasure of working at Xerox and working, not selling copiers, which is what most people know Xerox for, but working with technology. And the technology that we use today was all invented at the Palo Alto Research Center in Palo Alto, California.